Secretary of State Marco Rubio will meet with Qatar's Prime Minister in Washington today. And their meeting comes days after Israel launched a strike on the U.S. ally targeting senior members of Hamas. CBS News senior foreign correspondent Imtiaz Tyab joins us now from the Qatari capital of Doha with more. Good morning to you, Imtiaz. I know you've been speaking with a high-ranking government official there. How are they responding and viewing what's happened to them?
Errol, good morning to you. Well, as you can imagine, there's a lot of fury here in Qatar after that strike here in the Qatari capital, which left 6 people dead, including what we're told is 5 low-level members of Hamas and 1 Qatari national who was working as a security official. Whatever the case, we've now seen the funerals of some of those low-level officials, but we do understand that Israel's targets, which were the senior negotiators, were not killed. A reminder, Qatar hosts the largest American military base in the region and has close diplomatic and economic ties to the U.S., including the gift of a $400 million plane to President Trump, which will be a new Air Force One. This is a vital relationship that the president wants to repair. Now, as you've been saying, we've been speaking to the top advisor to the Qatari Prime Minister, a man by the name of Majid al-Ansari. Here's what he said.
I hope that this moment will be the moment that the international community realizes, like we have realized long ago, that Benjamin Netanyahu is the main threat to international peace and security.
And then you have Netanyahu targeting your sovereign soil. I mean, how do you really interpret that?
I would say that betrayal is a feeling we are having right now.
Are negotiations now dead?
Under the current premise. Prime Minister Netanyahu is saying very clearly that he does not want the hostages out. He doesn't care about the hostages. The only thing he cares about is his own political ambitions. The attack on Doha was targeted to make sure that there is no positive trajectory in the talks.
Now, as you can imagine, again, the mood here is one of real anger. But we also have to understand that this face-to-face meeting between these Trump official and indeed with the Qatari leadership is intended to smooth things over. Just how that's going to happen, well, that's anyone's guess. Errol.
And remind us, Imtiaz, while this may smooth things over for the moment, is it influencing what's happening in Gaza? Because there seems to have been no let-up in Israel's campaign there.
Yeah, it's a very important point that you make. And, it's not just the Qatari leadership who are accusing Prime Minister Netanyahu of deliberately trying to unravel these negotiations. We've also been hearing from hostage families who are using the word sabotage. We've also seen an increasing number of Israeli soldiers say that they will not join the fight in Gaza after tens of thousands of them, reservists, have been called up to go back as Israel carries on with this offensive to take over Gaza City, which was once was Gaza's largest city. There are around 1 million people there up until a week ago. Many hundreds of thousands have fled, saying that they have nowhere to go. So the situation in Gaza remains incredibly bleak. The situation for the hostages remains incredibly bleak. And the situation when it comes to any negotiations to end this violence also remains incredibly bleak. Errol.
All right, 2:46 in the afternoon where you are, Imtiaz, joining us from Doha. Thank you.